right to me. How about another round of applause for Frank Bob?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to John Kurtz Field on Georgia College's beautiful West Campus. It's time once again for Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Assistant Athletic Director Al Weston set to bring you today's action. Should have a good one for you. Non-conference play, midweek action. It's always an adventure when you get into those unfamiliar opponents in the middle of the week. And today is no different. Going to be taking on Clark Atlanta University from the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Clark Atlanta comes in at 9-19 overall with a 6-9 conference mark. Georgia College at 20-14, 11-8 in Peach Belt Conference play. The starting lineup roster here for Clark Atlanta. Leading off will be the first baseman Jason Howell. After him bats center fielder Anthony Nettles. In the third slot is the catcher, and that's Ayrton Gisbertha. The cleanup spot belongs to the pitcher, Jordan Johnson. Hitting fifth will be the shortstop, Calvin Butler. Then after him, the second baseman, McCaleb Harleman. Hitting seventh, the third baseman, and that is Damani Brantley. And hitting eighth, the right fielder, DeAndre Swift. Batting ninth, the left fielder, Ciante Brandon. So Howell, Nettles, Gisbertha, Johnson, Butler, Harleman, Brantley, Swift, and Brandon. They'll all be taking on Connor Wilson, the senior. Toes the rubber as a starter for the first time this season. Connor is from Noonan, Georgia. He has made 5 appearances, no record in a 7.71 ERA, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits off him, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .381 against Connor Wilson. Wilson, a 6'4", 215 from Noonan, Georgia, and a transfer from West Georgia Tech. He's in his second year as a Bobcat. So we're about ready to get underway here, folks. And this is Jason Howell set to lead off, as Wilson will be working from the stretch, it appears, for the entirety of this contest. And the first pitch is flared to the right side, foul territory. Long run for a couple of different Bobcats, and it'll get out of play. Defensively, GC in the outfield from left to right. It's Conahan, Hill, and Womack. In the infield on the left side is Garrett Green and Jason Cook. The right side belongs to Cal Gentry and Cassius Young. The catcher is Holloway. He's catching up Wilson as the second delivery comes in. A little bit slower pace, and there's a swing and a miss. 0-2. Jason Howell, left-handed batter against the righty Wilson, and that pitch misses outside. Good waist pitch, didn't miss by much. First pitch official start time somewhere around 4:05. So we're just a couple minutes behind here. Beautiful day at John Kurtz Field. You can see that sun coming in now, as the temperature up around 80, and I think maybe over it. 2-2 count. Wilson delivers on a 2-2 tip foul right off the end of the bat. Will stay at that count. Swung on, again fouled off to the left side. Good battle here to start off the contest, as Howell and Wilson go head-to-head. 6 pitches already, and we're just in the first batter of the ball game. The 2-2 swung on and ripped to right. That gets up over the head of a leaping Cassius Young for a single. As Howell jumped all over that pitch. A little bit, and then he yanks it to right for a hit of the course. And it brings up Anthony Nettles. Nettles is playing settled for the Panthers today. Nettles, a preseason all-conference pick there in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Flared to the right side. Long run for Cal Gentry. He will get to it with a catch over the shoulder for out number 1. And Howell has to retreat to the bag. Ayrton Gisbertha at the plate now. Gisbertha, right-handed batter. He's doing the catching today. As the Panthers start with 9 in the lineup, no DH. They're going to have their pitcher Johnson on deck. Toss to first, not a bad idea, as Clark Atlanta known for base thievery. Runner goes, one hopper to second, and Gentry can't handle it, so that's going to be a stolen base. Did not see the pitch. Jack, you get that pitch, bud? It was a ball? All right. So a stolen base for Howell on the pitch out of the zone. And they got a runner in scoring position with one down for Gisbertha. Swung on, flared back to the right side and foul. Should have one of each now. Wilson wheels and delivers to second. Almost caught him sleeping as Cook slipped in behind the runner. Almost got Howell. Good quick move there from Wilson as well, as that made it pretty close out there. So Wilson with a 1-1 count, and Gisbertha, here it comes. Swung on and skied. Going to be right up the silo to the right side of the infield. Cassius Young calls off Wilson. He thought about it for a moment there. But the pitcher coming off the mound to field things. And that's 2 out. And that brings up Jordan Johnson, the pitcher. Johnson also on the preseason All-SIAC squad. So Nettles and Johnson, the 2-hole and the 4 slot. First pitch in there for a strike to Johnson as he's trying to help his own cause here. A clutch hit here with 2 down would put Clark Atlanta in front. Runner goes, a little hit and run, and that one flared back behind us here. So 0-2 now the count to Johnson. Connor Wilson from Northgate High and a transfer from West Georgia Tech in his second year as a Bobcat. He did pitch against Clark Atlanta last year. Went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, a couple of runs, a couple of walks, and a couple of strikeouts. Swung on and sent to short. It hops up on Cook off the cutout. The throw to first in plenty of time for out number 3. So a leadoff single comes for naught. We have a scoreless ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the first. You're listening to Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Georgia College is very good about making that community, making the connection with other people, and you can be in a class with somebody for a semester, for years, and know them a little bit. You go on one of these trips, an overnight backpacking trip or just a day canoe trip, and you're gonna get to know them a lot better, connect on a lot deeper level. Even though we do learn some technical skills out here, we do see some pretty cool things. I think it's really about just getting out here and experiencing it with other people.
It's a hidden treasure of GCSU, I would say. A lot of the students don't really know that we have it there, but it's amazing. I love the Outdoor Center. I fell in love.
All right, Bobcat fans, we're back to it here, bottom half of the first inning. And Georgia College coming to the plate, going to be Cam Hill to lead off, the center fielder. The catcher, Austin Holloway, bats second. Then Cal Gentry, the second baseman, in the third slot. Cleanup spot belongs to Wesley Womack, the right fielder. Garrett Green at third base, he bats fifth. Shane Conahan will play left and hit sixth. Matthew Chester, the designated hitter, he'll bat seventh. Jason Cook, the shortstop, in the eighth slot. Then the ninth spot belongs to Cash. He's playing first base. They're all taking on Jordan Johnson, the right-hander. Let's see what I've got on Johnson numbers-wise. Yeah, he's making his eighth appearance, his third start. He's got a 2-2 record, 9 ERA, 9 even. He's got 22 innings pitched, 33 hits, 28 runs, 22 of them earned, 16 walks, and 17 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting .347 against the right-hander. And he's an all-SIAC pick in Jordan Johnson. He's 6'5", 170. He's a senior from Conyers and Salem High. So the Bobcats will send Hill, Holloway, and Gentry at least to the dish this inning.
Up to that first for your Bobcats, number 21, center fielder Cam
And
Hill.
hopefully a few more. Bobcats all time against Clark Atlanta 12-0, including an 18-5 victory last year. In 2017, it was 30-3. And in 2016, a 16-3 contest. So that's how we've done against Clark Atlanta with these guys on the current roster. Pitch taken for a strike by four-time Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Week. That is a conference record. No one has ever had that many conference honors. The Freshman of the Week award 4 times, including each of the last 3. A 1-1 count here for Cam Hill. Hill having an outstanding season. And at this point, I don't know who his competition is going to be for PBC Freshman of the Year, but he's got to have a leg up. 4 times. And that went outside, I think 3-1. Is that what we got? Okay. The pitch is in the zone that time, low and away. Good pitcher's pitch to bring it to 3-2, and now Hill's got to get the bat off the shoulder. So a payoff pitch is due to the fantastic freshman, flared back and foul to the left side. It will get out of play up over the head of Taylor Blackwell running the third base cam. Nice that Taylor could get out here after class. These 4 p.m. starts are always tricky when it comes to getting student workers out here. So we appreciate everybody taking the time out of their afternoon and hustling from class. Flared back behind us again. And just like the top half of this inning, a good battle between pitcher and batter to start off the game. I think we got up to 7 or 8 pitches when Jason Howell was at the plate, and he ended up with a single. And Cam Hill jumps all over that one, yanks it foul. First couple of fouls had gone to the left side, but he got out in front of whatever that pitch was and rattled it down off the electrical box here at the Peeler Complex. Got a brief break here. I think there might be a gate open down the first baseline. Not sure what they were pointing at. But either way, we're going to regroup and look at pitch number 9 on the way. That's ball 4 high. So Hill with a battle, and he wins it. As the Bobcats get a leadoff base runner for Austin Holloway.
Up to bat, number 7.
Holloway having an amazing season. First in the Peach Belt Conference in batting average. Second in on-base percentage. And third in runners caught stealing as well. Holloway hitting .441 with 45 hits, 21 runs scored, and 19 driven in. Cam Hill with a sizable lead at first. He's staying put for now, and a pitch up for a ball. So Holloway at the dish, Hill at first. Scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the first. Georgia College trying to scratch that first run across. The lanky pitcher Johnson steps off the rubber. Now a 1-0, and it's on the outside black for a strike. Gisbertha, the catcher, bluffed a throw down to first base, so got to be looking for that as well today. Ayrton is a 4-year starter pretty much. I remember that name from each of the last 4 years. Is pretty steady backstop there. Toss to first, and back on his belly is Hill. 1-1 to count here in the bottom of the first. Holloway with that batting average up there. Georgia College has each of the top 3 batting averages in the Peach Belt Conference, as that's a called strike. Austin Holloway at .441. And Cal Gentry with a .423. And then Wesley Womack at .416. Those are the top 3 batting averages in the Peach Belt Conference. Closer play over there at first. The team average is .315. Holloway, no official at-bats against Clark Atlanta in his career, as he walked with the bases loaded, eventually scored as well. So he got a run scored and an RBI, but did not have an official plate appearance. Tipped that one foul. I guess he just got a piece of it, because I already had 2 strikes on him. So 1-2 count for Austin Holloway. Best hitting catcher in the Peach Belt Conference. Here it comes. Up and away, 2-2. Austin's gotten a couple of starts at DH with Saunders behind the dish, particularly when we have the doubleheaders. He's also played a little bit of left field in those cases as well. Good to have that versatility. Runner goes, and this is skied, going to be around the shortstop area. The pitcher calling everybody off, and that is Johnson squeezing that one for out number 1. So 1 down as Hill heads back to first. Did have a hit and run going there. That brings up Cal Gentry. Gentry, the junior, is a .423 hitter with 52 hits. He's got 29 runs scored. 3 home runs and 21 driven in. 2 of those 3 home runs came against the number 17 Mount Olive squad when we played them in a midweek contest up in Lexington, South Carolina. Pitch misses outside. I think that was the breaking ball. Just didn't snap that one off. And it's a 1-0 count. Gentry, first in the conference in on-base percentage. That number, 493. Almost half the time he gets on base. And he will right here as he flares one into left center. That'll get down for a single. First hit of the ball game for GC. The throw to second. Ooh, did they almost have Hill right there? And I'm not sure they didn't. 2 on the round around the second base bag. And they almost caught him off there. First and second with nobody out for Wesley Womack.
To that, number 12 right fielder, Wesley Womack.
Big Wes with a third in the conference in batting average. He is 7th in on-base percentage as well, that at 466. And this one is rifled up the middle for a single. Looks like the run will come in to score. The throw to the plate is up the third base line, gets past everybody. Going to advance the runners some, so we got a hit and an error on that play, Jack. As Womack rifles one up the middle for the first run of the ball game. Georgia College up 1-0. RBI single by Wesley Womack. Womack is now 2 RBI out of the top 10 in school history. He's got 164 in his career. And that's the first one today. For the season, that pitch to Garrett Green is low. Womack now up to 24 RBI. And Green at the plate here. This is Garrett Green, a Bobcat shortstop. Or third baseman, I should say. Pitch taken for a strike there, or no, that was a ball. Okay, so we got a 2-0 count. Green, what do we got on him? 326, 42 hits, 33 runs scored, and 22 driven in. This is hit well to center, going to be high. Is it deep enough to score the run? The center fielder getting his feet set underneath him. The throw to the plate, attempted a cutoff, and it kicks up the third baseline as Cal Gentry comes in to score on the sacrifice fly from Garrett Green. Womack stays put at second.
Up to bat, number 2 left fielder, Shane Conahan.
And Garrett Green drives in his 20th run of the year. So the Bobcats are now up 2-0. And at the plate is Shane Conahan, Bobcat senior in his first year of active duty. So he sat out last year, transferred from Elon. 292 hitter with 19 hits, 11 runs scored, and 12 driven in. And he's got one each on the count. So Conahan seeing his first action of his career against Clark Atlanta. Tip foul. 1-2 now to the powerful frame of Shane Conahan from Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania. Bobcats don't have too many more players out of the state of Georgia. Conahan's one of them, of course. Swung on and chopped to short. Charging on that one. Tough play. Throwing on the run and got him as well. My goodness. That was a hard play there for Butler at shortstop. And he comes up aces on the tricky one. Conahan almost beating it out. So the Bobcats pick up a couple of runs on 2 hits, 1 error. And looks like they left one out there. 1 in the books now. Georgia College up 2-0. We'll be right back. We are back to action. It's the top half of the second. Georgia College picking up a couple of runs, earned or unearned, as Georgia College taking advantage of the throwing error by the center fielder. So 2-2-1-1 was the line there in the first. This is Calvin Butler at the plate, I believe. Let me double check. I'm not sure if I had the right guy at the dish. Yeah, okay, that's what I got. Calvin Butler at the plate. And he takes the first pitch up and away for a ball. As Connor Wilson works in inning number 2. Butler on the season, I got him at 279 with 9 runs scored, 12 hits, a home run, and 8 RBI. The pitch fouled off behind us, one of each now. It's a 1-1 count. 1-1 to count here, top of the second. Again, beautiful day here, John Kurtz Field. The pitch, low and away. Two 2-1 to count. Tried the breaking pitch, just broke off the plate. And good patience there for Calvin Butler. Swung and skied to right center. Looks like Calvin Hill has a beat on it, and he does grab that one for out number 1. So the fly to center retires Butler and brings up McCaleb Harleman. Harleman, the second baseman. What's he doing this year? McCaleb's hitting 167 with a couple of hits. 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI. 2s across the board for McCaleb. Interesting name. You normally see the Caleb, and you see Mick in front of stuff, but I don't know if I've ever run across a Mick Caleb. Harleman wide open stance for him. Brings it closed as the pitch comes, and it nabs the outside black for a strike. One of each now for Harleman. The pitch swung on and hit to about the same spot as the last fly out, as Cam Hill's good on that one too. 2 down. A little bit more of a line drive to Hill, but about the same location. So that brings up Damani Brantley, the third baseman, with 2 down and the base is empty. Pitch taken for a strike. What do we got for Brantley on the year? 167 average. He's got 6 hits and 3 runs scored, a double, 2 RBI. As a team, Clark Atlanta hitting 224 on the year. That one grabs the outside black for a strike. The team ERA at 9.23. Fielding percentage. Doesn't look like I have that in my stats. I didn't print that out. Bobcats hitting 315 with a 4.56 team ERA. So they have the Panthers beat in both of those categories. Fastball just off the outside edge. It's 1-2. Didn't miss by much there. Good pitch location for Wilson. Connor comes set. And the delivery. A little bit further outside that time. Tips off the glove of Holloway as well. So Deuce is Wild here at the Peeler Complex. Or John Kurtz Field, my mistake. And the 2-2 pitch, it's up and inside for a ball. So the count will run full. So full count here as Wilson takes on Brantley. DeAndre Swift, the right fielder, awaits on deck as they get back to the left-hand side of things. The 2-3-2 pitch is chopped to the left side. Garrett Green waits for one more hop. A strong arm to first base just got him. Green had to wait for it to come down, and that knew it was going to make a close play at first base, and he had just enough arm to get the job done. 1, 2, 3. Go the Panthers in the bottom half, or the top half of the inning. We'll head to the bottom half as Georgia College will send Chester, Cook, and Young to the plate. We'll be in action more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate into a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university. Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Back. Not a whole lot of action for head coach Jamie Gradecki over there. Her Bobcat softball squad just reached the national rankings for the first time this season today. Just released that info. Number 20 team in the country. And they've got a couple of ball games this weekend, a doubleheader Friday and then a doubleheader Sunday to finish off their home portion of the schedule. So check the Bobcats out this weekend, the number 20 in the nation Bobcats, as they're in the midst of a 14-game win streak. Outstanding work by Gradecki in the game. Speaking of outstanding work, Matthew Chester at the plate as the freshman gets another start here at DH. Got a couple of starts over the weekend up at Lander. Came up pretty good there. Hitting .300 on the year. This is his fifth start on the season. 6 hits, 8 runs scored. And still looking for his first RBI of the year, though. Limited action for him so far and really has cracked into the lineup. There's a called strike 3, though, on the outside. Black and Chester will head to the dugout. I was about to tell you that Matthews only struck out once on the season in 20 at-bats. But as soon as I think about that, of course, he takes a look at a called strike 3 right there. Jason Cook at the plate, the shortstop. First pitch to him is well far up and away. So Cook, 262 average. That's dipped down a little bit as he's had some struggles as of late. 33 hits, 24 runs scored, and 17 driven in. He skies one back behind us, and a 1-1 count for Jason Cook. Cook started off the year in the outfield, played one game at second base, and then moved over to short, and he's been very steady there. Had some struggles early with the air, but has been strong as of late. Pitch up for a 2-1 count. Would like to see Cook get the bat going again, as that one's low, 3-1. Jason does a good job with drag bunts and those sorts of things from the right-hand side. Good bat control. Swung on and hit well to center, but I think it's going to be right at him. Nettles adjusts a little bit and squeezes that liner for out number 2.
Next to bat, number 4, first baseman Cassius Young.
2 down for Cassius Young, the first baseman from Atlanta. Another bat we need to get going. 238 the average, making his 27th start. 24 hits, 22 runs scored, a home run, and 18 driven in. Big Cash at the dish. He takes a look at one low. Another one of these versatile Bobcats. He's played third, Short, second, first, all four infield positions. Yanked to third, and Brantley with a backhand snag the throw to first in plenty of time. Great play over there by the third baseman Brantley as he went down to a knee to keep that ball from heading to the outfield. So good defense here on both sides so far. 1, 2, 3, go the Cats. As both teams go in order in the second. Be right back with more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, man, T, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
We often get the question.
Moving on to the top of the third inning. 8-9-1-2 up for Clark Atlanta. DeAndre Swift, Ciante Brandon, and then back to the top with Jason Howell. Connor Wilson working for inning number 3 here. Got Cole Eller up on the hill there. Looks like he's getting ready to head over to baseball practice of his own. That bag's about as big as he is.
Out to bat for the Panthers.
Local celebrity here, Cole Eller. DeAndre Swift, the right fielder, steps in. Lefty batter. All the way on the back chalk. He's hitting .313 with 5 hits, 4 runs scored, and a pair of RBI. Good season here for Swift. First pitch to him, and that's going to add to the batting average as he rifles one into center. Second hit of the ball game for the Panthers. And for the second time in the game, they have their leadoff base runner on. This time it's for Ciante Brandon, the left fielder. What do we got from Brandon this year? .250 hitter with 9 hits, 10 runs scored, and 3 RBI. No extra base hits for Brandon as of yet. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. The throw down to first, and they do not get him. I believe the pitch was a ball. Is that what you got, Jay? Got to think if it was a strike that Brandon would have tried to swing at it, right? Or try to get that bunt down. Brandon. The 1-0 on the way. Runner goes. Cut on and missed. The throw down to second in plenty of time. An awkward slide there. I hope Swift is all right as he kind of went strangely into second base. But he is retired on the caught stealing. So 1-1 to count. And now 1 out for Brandon. As Austin Holloway guns down another runner. Tries to bunt there, tips it foul. Back to the fence, 1-2. Again, Holloway. Third in the Peach Belt Conference in runners caught stealing this year. Let me see if I can find that exact number. I'm not sure if I have that sheet on me. Don't believe I do. Swung on and missed, and going down on his strikes is Brandon. That's the first strikeout for Wilson, and it makes 2 outs here in the third. Jason Howell at the plate. He's 1 for 1 today, a single for him. Howell, senior from Conyers and Salem High. The pitch cut on and missed. 0-1 to start off. Howell playing first base for the Panthers today. Calls time. He's going to step out and regroup. Howell had a heck of a battle in his first at bat. I believe he got up to 8 pitches in that bat and then rocketed a single up over the head of Young. Throwing on the run is Gentry. Did he get him? Yes, he did over at first base. Chopper to second finishes off the third. Let's head to the bottom half as we're going to have the top of the order. We'll be right back.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Folks, want to remind you about the Georgia College Annual Athletic Auction coming up April 27th, the biggest fundraiser of the year for GC Athletics. Tickets are $125, gets you dinner for 2, access to all the silent and live auction items, and 1 entry in that $10,000 reverse raffle. That's right, somebody's going to win 10 G's, and it could be you, but you got to buy a ticket. See any athletic department personnel for details on how to get that ticket. That includes yours truly. I've got the tickets in my office that I'm trying to sell. So call me. I'll give you those tickets. And you'll win 10 grand. I've had some winners in years past. So I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot toot. There you go. Pitch taken for a strike here by Cam Hill. No official at bats for Cam, as he walked in his first trip, but he did score a run. Cam Hill, 4-time Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Week. He takes one inside, a 2-1 count. Hill hitting .345 with 39 hits, 33, now 34 runs scored. That leads the team. And 22 runs batted in. Flares this one foul to the right side. So 2-2 now the count. Cam Hill from Marietta and Marietta High. True freshman for GC. Hill calls time. I think that was actually Johnson stepping off the rubber. Johnson, very lanky pitcher out there. Got about 75% leg, it looks like. Skied to right center, and it will get down for a single. I thought originally that Nettles might get underneath it, as he's been pretty sharp out there in center field. But he drops it into right center for a single. Hit number 3 of the ball game for GC. As the Panthers had set down 5 in a row. So that halts that little strong pitching effort. And it brings up Austin Holloway. Holloway, a pop out to the pitcher. He's 0 for 1. Austin from Social Circle. And East Side High. Runner goes. Throw down to second. It looked like Gisbertha lost the handle. He tried to throw from his knees, and no success there. Pitch was a strike, but a stolen base for Cam Hill. As the Bobcats get active on the base paths once again. Hill on the season now for stolen bases. What do we got him? 7-7 on the year. Can't do much better than perfect. The pitch swung on and missed on the curveballs. It dropped off the table. So an 0-2 count here for Austin Holloway. Single here could score a pair. Or score one, I should say. Open stance for Holloway. Deep bend at the knees. He takes a look at one outside. It's 1-2. Austin bends at the waist. No pitch to come as they bluff a throw to second base. Crowd starting to file in a little bit here at Kurtz Field. Got some folks up on the hill. This one skied to the left side. It's a pop fly. Having a little bit of trouble with it was Brandon, but he's able to find it and get underneath for out number one. So one down for Cal Gentry. Bobcats second baseman is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Came in hitting .423, so that average will go up a hair. The run scored earlier in the ball game for Cal is 29th, now 30th. Perry High School grad, former All-American. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. Only All-American on the roster right now for GC Baseball, as he won that honor in his freshman season. Throw to second, close there, and wrapping around a little bit of a spinning tag there for Butler. Had him off the base again there. Looked like Cam was thinking about a attempted steal of third, but nobody had come to cover the bag. I think they would have had him if somebody was headed in that direction. Outside, ball kicks away from the catcher, and now he throws it into left field. And the throw comes in now to the plate, so that's going to be an error on the catcher to allow Hill to take third base. So Hill was staying at second. That throw was unnecessary, and I think Gisbertha got into the throw and tried to stop himself, and that's why the throw was so offline. This one rolled to short, and Gentry picks up the RBI on the ground out. Bobcats now lead it 3-0. Hill comes in to score.
Up to that right fielder, Wesley Womack.
And there's 2 down now here in the inning. RBI for Gentry puts him at 22. Brings up Wesley Womack with the bases empty. Pitch up and away for a ball. Womack, I told you about the RBI for him. As now he's 2 away from the top 10 in school history. There's a pitch taken for a strike. The single, now he is tied for 10th in total bases with 385. He's tied with Mike DeVoe, who was a 2-year player, if you can imagine that. 2 seasons, and he got into our top 10 in total bases. DeVoe had himself a heck of a career. I believe he was a 2-time All-American. So congratulations to Wesley Womack getting into the top 10 in total bases. And the pitch misses up and away. Deuces wild here for Wes. The hit now makes him 4 away from 6th place in school history. He is the 7th in hits in a GC career is Wes, as he's got 273 now. Wes has had some success against Clark Atlanta. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored last season. The previous year, 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And as a freshman, went 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. So all told there, coming into this ball game, 5 for 9 with 5 runs and 2 driven in. That is yanked foul there as Womack stays alive. The count is full here with 2 down and the base is empty. Georgia College with a run coming across on a ground out. Leads it 3-0. The pitch from Johnson, cut on and missed, and Womack goes down on strikes. That is the 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Johnson, and it's the final out of the 3rd. 3 in the books now, Georgia College 3, Clark Atlanta 0. We'll be right back.
When I was applying to different graduate programs, Georgia College was actually the first to contact me, and I was able to speak to the program coordinator directly. We were able to sort of build a rapport then, and through that I felt very comfortable about coming here. Even though I'd never been to the South, coming from Michigan, I still felt like there was a welcoming atmosphere.
When you start thinking about learning, it's really not a destination as much as it is a journey. And when we started out as undergrads, we really didn't know what we wanted to do when we grew up. An undergraduate really kind of gives you that foundation you can build on. And what we try to do is have our students become lifelong learners and to go ahead and prepare themselves for a very dynamic world that they're going to live in.
Moving on to the top of the 4th inning. Georgia College leading it 3-0 here over the Panthers of Clark Atlanta in non-conference action. Bobcats at home this season, 13-9. So trying to defend the Kurtz once again. Connor Wilson looking sharp so far with 2 hits stretched out over 3 frames. Got a couple of strikeouts and no walks so far. Anthony Nettles, Ayrton Gisbertha, and Jordan Johnson due up. Nettles flew out to second base. He's 0 for 1. Nettles, a preseason all-PBC or all-SIAC selection. First pitch taken for a ball there. Nettles is a junior from Morrow, Georgia, and Morrow High School. That's, of course, location of Clayton State University, a Peach Belt Conference school. No baseball for Clayton State, but we do play them in all of our other sports. Actually, no softball either, but outside of those guys. 2-0 is due from Wilson. The pitch, and a miss is low. Nice favorable count here, 3-0, as Nettles probably going to put the bat on the shoulder here. Was set, and the pitch. Low and away, ball 4. 4-pitch walk as Wilson lets the leadoff base runner on for the third time in 4 innings. Haven't had much trouble with any of them thus far. As Gisbertha, keep saying that wrong, apologize. He popped out to first base his first time. Ayrton gets the bunt down to third. The throw to first, the only play to make. Nobody covering that third base bag, though. And now we've got the runner caught in a rundown. Going to get him over there at third? Yes, we are. Okay, so an interesting play there that picks up 2 outs. All right, so we did get the 5-3 sacrifice.
Up to bat, designated hitter Jordan Johnson.
Okay. And we're going to do that. And then a 3-5 over there, I think, right? And that should do it. Yep, there we go. All right. So 2 down, base is empty. For Jordan Johnson, the pitcher. Johnson's first trip, a ground out to short. Checks his swing, but it's a pitch taken for a strike anyway. Jordan Johnson, the senior. He's from Conyers and Salem High. Got a couple of guys from Salem, as both he and Jason Howell, the first baseman, high school teammates. That's fouled off. It's 0-2. Wilson with the set and an 0-2 delivery on the way. Here it comes. Swung on a missed. He struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Connor. And it's the final out here in the top of the 4th. We will head to the bottom half. Going to be Green, Conahan, and Chester due up. We'll be right back with that here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Georgia College is very good about making that community, making the connection with other people, and you can be in a class with somebody for a semester for years and know them a little bit. You go on one of these trips, an overnight backpacking trip or just a day canoe trip, and you're gonna get to know them a lot better, connect on a lot deeper level. Even though we do learn some technical skills out here, we do see some pretty cool things. I think it's really about just getting out here and experiencing it with other people.
It's a hidden treasure of GCSU, I would say. A lot of the students don't really know that we have it there, but it's amazing. I love the Outdoor Center. I fell in love.
We are back to it here. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Senior Garrett Green gets us going. Green from Bogart, Georgia. And North Oconee High, transfer from USC Upstate, Division I program. As he redshirted a year there. Pitch for a ball to start him off. Green's first trip, sacrifice flies. No official at bats. He did drive in a run, of course. And that one is low, 2-0. Garrett Green picked up his 200th career hit earlier this season. Last year went 2 for 3 with 3 RBI and 2 runs scored against Clark Atlanta. Hit a home run in that ball game, and he singles here. Drop that one to left.
Up to that left fielder, Shane Conahan.
And his hit number 4 for the Cats. And a leadoff base runner for GC. second straight inning and fourth time overall. We've done that last 2 times. That runner has come around to score, so let's hopefully keep that pattern going here with Shane Conahan at the dish. Conahan 0 for 1, a ground out to short. Pitch gets away from the catcher. I did not see the location there, Jack. What do you think? Is that a wild pitch? All right, so we're going to go a wild pitch to get Green over to second base. Conahan with a 1-0 count. And that one's a little bit up and away. Not by much, though. Good eye by Shane. Conahan, good lefty bat in the outfield. Can play the corner outfield spots. And he fouls this one off his front foot. And that hurt a bit. He went down to the deck pretty quick there. And he's going to have to work out the bees some. No protective gear on the front shin for Shane. And Coach Eller and graduate assistant athletic trainer David Youngblood taking a look at the senior. He tried to wave him off, but David was already out there. When you hit the deck like Shane did, then I think the trainer makes an automatic run out there. Didn't really take much of a look at it, just talked it through with Shane, and apparently he's fine. Conahan will stay out there with this 2-1 count. Been a little while since we've seen Shane here at home. He's battled depth chart issues in the outfield as we've had a couple of different guys play those corner outfield spots. A couple of starts at DH for Shane as well as the pitch is up and away. Conahan making his 14th start of the season here in ball game number 35. Johnson, long look in here and a 3-1 delivery. Here it comes. Swung on, flare to the left side. Looks like foul ball. Will the left fielder get to it? No. Cap came loose for Brandon as he tried to track that one down in foul territory, but it hits the dirt in the bullpen. Speaking of bullpens, got a couple of arms warming up out there. Colin Lacurto with some long toss to get loose. And looks like Hester, the lefty. Jacob Hester. New one, transfer from Mercer U. He's just doing some early catch there. Lacurto warming up with a catcher, it appears. Again in the early going. Throw to second, and geez, almost got him again. That's a tough move to second base for Johnson as they kind of lull you to sleep a little bit. And they've almost caught a couple of runners at second. Very close. But the Bobcats get away with one there. Pitch to the plate, and it's hops up for Harleman there at second base. Flip to first for one down. But it does advance the runner. So Conahan does his job and gets Green over to third base for Matthew Chester.
Up to bat, designated hitter Matthew Chester.
Chester 0 for 1. A strikeout looking in his first trip. It was 3 pitches as well. As he took a look at a fastball just off the outside edge and nipped the corner for a strike. Chester looking for his first collegiate RBI. And he's got to duck on the pond here. Infield in a little bit for Clark Atlanta. Pitch taken for a strike. As the middle infielders are now kind of even with the bases. And the corners are as well. So not infield all the way in, but just a little bit further in. And hit by a pitch there is Matthew Chester. So he won't get that first collegiate RBI, but he will head to the base paths.
To bat, shortstop, Jason
So first
Cook.
and third now for Jason Cook. Cook 0 for 1 with a hot liner to center. One of those here would score a run on a sac fly. Cook from Smyrna. His high school was Harrison, then he transferred in from Chattahoochee Valley Community College. Tip foul off the end of the bat, 0-1. Cook back in that right-hand batter's box. Short lead for Chester over at first. The pitch, thought about a bunt, pulls it back and takes a ball outside. A little safety squeeze there, maybe. As interesting setup there with the first and third. I think Cook might have been bunting for a hit there. Middle infield is now back to regular depth, and they're in on the corners for the Panthers. Bluff of a run, and that one is rifled into the third base dugout. So 1-2 now the count. For Jason Cook. Cook looking for his first hit of the ball game. The Cats have 4 hits. Scratched across 2 runs in the first on a single from Womack and a sac fly from Green. Then added to it with another run on a ground out by Gentry. That was in the third inning. Looking for a chance to add to it right here. The set from Johnson, the pitch, didn't look like he came all the way set. That's rolled to third, to second for 1, on to first for 2. Did not get him, so the fielder's choice will allow the run to score. As the Panthers almost got out of that jam with no runs in. So that ground out gives Cook an RBI. And what's Jason got now on the year with runs batted in? He's got 18. So the fielder's choice brings in Garrett Green. Bobcats lead it 4-0 here, and Cassius Young at the plate. Young is 0 for 1 with a ground out to third, and a pitch taken for a strike. Young from Atlanta and Marist High. Young didn't play. No, he did play against Clark Atlanta last season. Went 0 for 1 with a couple of runs scored. Toss to first, and safe there is Cook. Good idea to try and check that runner, as Cook on the year is 9 for 11 in stolen base attempts. That leads the team with those 9 steals. Chopped foul and an 0-2 count for Cassius Young. Big right-handed batter. Seems like he would have a powerful frame, but just the 2 career home runs for Young, as he has not quite figured out Division II pitching as of yet. But plenty of potential for this righty slugger, as if he can get that figured out, then he could be a tough hitter in this league. Slightly open stance and a fastball up and in. The throw down to second is not in time, as it sails over the head of the second baseman. So a stolen base for Cook. He's now 9 for 12 on the year. So Cook snags a stolen base, gets into scoring position. With a 1-2 count here for Young, cut on and missed, and he goes down on strikes. So the strikeout ends that threat. Third strikeout of the ball game for Johnson, and it ends the fourth. Georgia College leads by 4. It's 4-0 here at Kurtz Field. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Bobcats have a defensive change as Shane Conahan not going to worry about that potential foul ball there. Hope it wasn't anything too serious, but I think he's just getting some rest as a result. No sense in putting him in harm's way here in the non-conference ball game. So we have a new left fielder, going to be Jay Saunders, the freshman from Moultrie, Georgia, and Colquitt County will take over in left field. Calvin Butler at the plate. Got a looking strike and a check swing that went through, so one of each on the strikes. And he's 0-2. Butler's first trip, a fly to center. And he takes a look at a lively fastball up in him. Butler, a junior from Atlanta and a transfer from Mineral Area College. Low and away, and that is a 2-2 count. Looks like they might have a pinch hitter on deck for McCaleb Harleman. We'll tell you about that for sure when he takes to the plate. Low and away and a 3-2 count. So after an 0-2 start, Butler has battled back to bring the count full. Wilson needs that out pitch here. The set and the toss here. It's away for ball 4. So Butler will head down to first with the walk. And now 3 straight innings with the leadoff runner on. That hasn't hurted us yet. So we got a pinch hitter here, as this is 24. I know that's a number change. That is Cedric Garrett. He's a junior from Chicago, Illinois, and Rich Central High. So Cedric Garrett will pinch hit here for McCaleb Harleman. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, a throw down to first, and they got him. Picked him off first base as that secondary lead was a bit too large for Butler. I think that pitch was a ball there. It looked like it was outside. So we'll go with a 1-0 count. And that one bounces, 2-0 now. Let's the pick off there for take a look here. 3-0 the count for Garrett. Didn't get a chance to look at his numbers. Let's pull those numbers out. Hopefully we'll get a strikeout of Wilson here. There it is. Okay, 3-1. Garrett, Cedric, he's hitting 154. He's appearing in his 9th ball game. 2 hits, 3 runs scored, and looking for his first RBI of the year. The pitch swung on, skied to the right side. Cal Gentry calling everybody off as he will grab that one, battle in the sun, for the second out of the inning. So 2 down there. Is going to take another look at Gentry tracking this thing down. He calls off Young and squeezes it while battle in the sun. Damani Brantley, 0 for 1 with a ground out to third in his action today. First pitch is yanked foul. Chopper there. The green tracks down in foul territory. Swift, a freshman from Atlanta and Westlake High. The kick and the fire from Wilson. Did he go around on the swing? Tried to check it, and they're going to say he did hold up. 1-1. Set here, and a 1-1 delivery. Chopped foul. Looked like it came off the hip there of Brantley at the plate. So 1-2 now. Bobcats have Cal Lacurdo warming up as well as Hester now. So this might be the last inning for Wilson, probably trying to get through that magical 5th inning. So Wilson will qualify for the victory. 1-2 pitch. And that one misses inside. 2-2. Deuce is wild here at John Kurtz Field. Again, outstanding day as we're hovering right around the 80-degree mark. A little bit warm for me, but I'm sure most of the folks down south here like this day. Skied foul, going to be out of play. So we'll go again here at 2-2. 6th pitch of the at-bat. And 59 total pitches for Wilson. Here it comes. Inside, nips the corner. Good one there. Might have been a slider or a curveball as it snapped into the zone for the looking strikeout. And if that was indeed his last batter, what a great way to finish it. His 3rd strikeout of the outing. Wilson has faced the minimum for now 4 innings straight. As that ends the top of the 5th. Bobcats lead it 4-0. We'll be back with more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate into a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Bottom half of the 5th inning for Georgia College. Going to be top of the order. Cam Hill, Austin Holloway, and Cal Gentry due up. Hill doing a good job at the top of the order as always, getting on the bases. As he's 1 for 1, also walked, scored 2 runs, stole a base. Second baseman stays in there. Cedric Garrett will continue as the new second baseman for Clark Atlanta. Came in as a pinch hitter and just remains in the ball game there in that position. So Garrett there. And Hill at the dish. Fouled off. 1-1 now the count. Cam Hill. Pitch to him, squares to bunt, gets it down the third baseline, could be trouble. The throw from third, and it hits the runner. As Hill will take over at first base. We're going to go hit there, guys. I think Cam was about to beat that one out anyway.
Up to that catcher, Austin Holloway.
So Hill with the bunt single, checks in at first base. Austin Holloway at the plate. He's still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to the pitcher and flew out to left. The pitch on the outside, Black for a strike. It's 0-1. Holloway with runners on base this year, hitting .544. My goodness. Far and above the best the Bobcats have to offer in this situation, but ball game, 31 hits in 57 at bats, .544 with runners on base. Holloway looking good out there. Lead candidate, I imagine, for first team all conference catcher, and probably some awards beyond that if these numbers continue. He's the top batting average guy in the Peach Belt Conference. Just missed outside. Not sure where that pitch was, and Gisbertha was confused about that one too. He let it linger out there a little extra. 1-1 with nobody out and a runner on first. Set here from Johnson. The pitch is away. 2-1. Bluffed the throw down to first, and Hill got back. Jake Sandlin, your first base coach for GC. All-American as a Bobcat in his career as well. All over the record books, particularly when it comes to home runs. He had a powerful bat. Played 3 seasons for Georgia College, did Jake, and then his final year at Southern Miss. Chopped to second. Tough play there. The flip is not in time at second base. Okay, we're going to go fielder's choice there because he made so no hit on that play, as Garrett would have had Holloway at first base had he chose to go there. So the fielder's choice going to make it first and second with nobody out for Gentry. Gentry 1 run scored and an RBI. Got a chance to add to those numbers here. The pitch swung on, hit well to right center. That'll get down. Pitch was up in the zone, might actually been a ball, and he tomahawked it into right center. RBI single for Cal Gentry. The Bobcats now lead it 5-0. Scampering over to third base is Holloway on the play as Hill comes in to score. Georgia College bringing across their 5th run of the ball game. Gentry up to 23 RBI on the season now. And Wesley Womack at the plate with runners on the corners and nobody out. Womack 1 for 2, a single and an RBI. As that ball low, Gentry going to advance on the wild pitch. Gisbertha lost the location of it as he knocked it down, smothered it well there at the plate, but left it right behind the dish, couldn't find it right away. Womack skies one to right field. That is going to be deep enough to score a run. Swift will catch it. The sacrifice fly as the throw comes in now makes the score 6-0 Georgia College.
Third baseman Garrett Green.
Gentry takes third base on the play. And that is the 25th RBI of the season for Womack. And now in his career, he is 1 RBI out of the top 10 in Georgia College history. Garrett Green at the plate. Swung on and fouled back to the fence. 0-1 for him. Garrett Green today is 1 for 1 with a single and a sacrifice fly. He's also scored a run, so he's got that RBI as well. Swung on and skied to left here. Shallow left field. Might not be deep enough to score the run, but we're going to try. No, bluff of a run there. Good throw. Good idea to hold up there by Gentry, as that was a nice strong throw from Brantley in left. Or Brandon, I'm sorry, in left. 2 down. And Jay Saunders will make his first trip to the plate. Saunders, the new Bobcat left fielder. Came in for Conahan as a defensive replacement. The first pitch. Swung on, flared to right. This could be trouble. Long run for Swift, and he gets it just barely in foul territory for out number 3. Covering a lot of ground with Swift on that one to squeeze it for the out. Georgia College brings across 2 on a pair of hits. No errors. And none left, it looks like. No, we leave 1. So we got 5 in the books now. Georgia College up 6-0. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
And it's time for your set.
Back to it here in the top of the 6th inning.
075 in 38.
Georgia College looking good here, leading at 6-0. 6 runs on 6 hits, and no errors for GC. For Clark Atlanta, no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. DeAndre Swift, Ciante Brandon, and Jason Howell due up here in the top of the 6th.
And up to bat we have right fielder.
Let's get you that sock update, folks. I know McLeod's not here, and he's the biggest fan of it, but socks showing in left and center. No socks showing for Womack and right in the infield. Very similar. Got socks showing for Green and Cook and Gentry, but no socks showing for Cassius Young at first base. Looks like we do have socks showing for Holloway behind the plate as well as his battery mate Wilson. So that is your sock update brought to you by absolutely nobody. Rolled to the right side. The second baseman flipped to first. Just got him. Making that play a little closer than it deserved to be was Swift, living up to his name as he runs down that first baseline. So he's 1 for 2 now, and Ciante Brandon will take to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That came back in the 3rd. Wilson still working from the stretch as he has all ball game. The pitch. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Swung on, and it's skied down the first baseline. Foul territory. Holloway calling everybody off, and he grabs that one for the out. Tough play there for the catcher, but he comes up with it. 2 down.
Up to bat, first baseman Jason Howell.
As we head back to the top of the order, Jason Howell. Howell 1 for 2. He singled to lead off the ball game, stole a base as well, and then was stranded out there at second. And then in his second plate appearance, grounded out to the second baseman. Lefty batter against the righty Wilson. The pitch, breaking pitch, and that curveball just nips the outside corner back toward that curveball. got a called strike. The 0-1 is tip foul there at the plate. Well out in front again on that breaking pitch. So now Wilson in the driver's seat here. Lots of options with an 0-2 count. Do you continue with this breaking ball that Howell is having trouble timing? Or do you maybe now buzz the fastball? The 0-2. Swung on and tagged up the middle for a single. Bounding ball that just evaded Gentry. And 2 hits now for Howell. Both of them have come in 2-strike counts. The first one was a full count.
Up to bat, center fielder Anthony Nettles.
So a 2-out hit there for Howell is the 3rd hit of the ball game for Clark Atlanta. And it brings up Anthony Nettles. Nettles 0 for 1 officially. He popped out to second. And then in his last at bat, he walked in the 4th. Time called at the plate by the batter, Nettles. Anthony Nettles. Preseason all-conference pick for the Panthers. Takes a look at one low and away for a ball. Hester and Lacurdo continue to warm for GC as Wilson is up to 66 pitches now. By far and above the longest outing for him this year. Runner goes, and it's tipped foul off of Holloway there at the plate. Kind of knocked the mask askew for the sophomore catcher. And Howell will have to head back to first base. Howell's already got a stolen base today. Let's see what that puts his numbers on the season. As, let's see here. Yeah, he's 11 of 13 on the season. That is first on the squad. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back behind us, 1-2. So Wilson 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Righty-righty matchup in the favor of the Bobcats here. And a back foot all the way on the back chalk here for Nettles. The pitch. Swung on, sent to the right side. Gentry stays down nicely on it. Flipped to first in plenty of time. Simple play for the junior second baseman to finish off the top of the 6th. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 out there as now they have left 2 total in the ball game. It's been a real clean contest for Connor Wilson so far. As we will head to the bottom of the 6th, Georgia College up 6. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, Manti, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
Back to action here. We'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by the Pickle Barrel Cafe and Sports Pub. Lots of non-conference action in the Peach Belt Conference. Got Young Harris on top of Mars Hill, 11-5 in the 7th. In the 2nd inning, it's Georgia Southwestern at West Georgia. They're all tied up 3-3. Auburn Montgomery at North Georgia. They got underway at 5. I have no score update there. And then the rest of them are 6 p.m. starts for Lander at Catawba, USC Aiken at Newberry. That should be a good one. Newberry just got into the top 25. Queens at UNC Pembroke, and Columbus State at Montevallo. Well, again, that Montevallo start probably going to be a 7 p.m. because they have the central time there in Alabama. So that's your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the Pickle Barrel Cafe and Sports Pub. I want to thank our friends at Pickle Barrel for their support of GC Athletics. Matthew Chester grounds one to short, and a quick ground out to start the inning, as Chester is retired. He is now
Up to bat, shortstop,
0 for 2
Jason
in the
Cook.
ball game. One down for Jason Cook. Continuing to deal is Jordan Johnson for Clark Atlanta, as he's up to pitch number 88, and it misses there for a ball. I don't know if we have any score update from GC Tennis up in Dahlonega. I've not seen anything come across from Barsby and the gang. Yep, no updates there. So hope the Bobcats can pull off the upset win in women's tennis at North Georgia. The 1-1 pitch, it misses outside. Got a 2-1 count. Kick and a fire here, and that one comes inside, just misses for a 3-1 tally. So Cook today, he's 0 for 2. Last at bat was a fielder's choice, as this one's flared back to the fence. He drove in a run with that, also stole a base. So still making some stuff happen despite not having any hits in this ball game. Lacurdo has sat down in the bullpen, so has Hester. So I'm not sure if we're going to keep Wilson out there or if just the warm-up tosses have completed. Skied to foul territory, and that is Howell to grab that one in foul ground for out number 2.
Jason Cassius Young.
2 down, bases empty for Cassius Young. The sophomore is 0 for 2 today, a ground out and a strikeout. That strikeout in his last at bat came in the 4th. A rock and a pitch from Johnson, and that one bounces up there, 1-0. The pitch, a little bit low and away, 2-0 now the count. GC Baseball tied for 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference with 11-8 mark, trying to defend that regular season and tournament title from a year ago. Cut on a miss, 2-1. The Bobcats tied with Young Harris at 11-8, but we'll have the tiebreaker because of the one game that we were able to get in with the Mountain Lions in the regular season was a Georgia College victory. Peach Belt tournament will be held at Flagler College again this year from May 10th to the 12th. Cut on a missed. Full count here for Young. North Georgia, the conference leader, number 25 in the country at 14-7. And then Flagler College is second at 13-8. Georgia College headed down there this weekend, so that's a pretty big series between the number 2 and number 3 teams in the league. Single game Friday night and a doubleheader on Saturday. Pitch misses up, and Young is a base runner for the first time today on the hard-fought walk.
Up to bat, center fielder Cam Hill.
So that flips the lineup once again. Cam Hill back up. He's 2 for 2. Has reached the bases all 3 times and scored all 3 times. Singles in his last 2 at-bats. And we got a pinch runner over at first base. Eric Furphy checking in over there as Cassius Young's day has come to a close. So pinch runner Eric Furphy over at first base. So Furphy will probably stay in the ball game and play first as well. We'll see what happens in the top of the 7th. Furphy with a delayed steal there, as I believe working from the windup on that play was Johnson. So that's going to be a stolen base for Eric Furphy. So he'll swipe the second base bag. 2-0 count here for Hill. Up and away, 3-0. So Furphy enters the contest. 19th ball game played for him. 3-1 now the count for Hill. Furphy with 8 runs scored, and that was his first stolen base and his first try of the year. (3-1) to count. And the pitch here. Nope. Kind of bluff of a throw to second base. They have been real close on a couple of tries there at second. Almost a couple of pickoffs there. They've got a pretty slick play going there at second base. Here it comes again. The throw is high this time, though. Leap and grab by the shortstop Butler as he saved an error. Cam Hill from Marietta. Pitch comes inside, almost hits the back shin, goes all the way back to the backstop. That will be ball 4. And advancing to third on the wild pitch is Furphy. That's going to bring, I believe, the head coach out of the dugout. I think this is Casey Carter. It looks like Casey. As he heads out there. Again, they played with 9 today. They don't have the DH, so if they're going to make a pitching change, they may just make a positional change to bring the new guy in. Or this might just be a conversation. That's entirely possible as well. But the situation is runners on the corners with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Austin Holloway is due up. And looks like Johnson is going to stay out there. He's up to 104 pitches. He's been pretty decent today. The team has kind of let him down with a couple of costly errors. Georgia College has 2 unearned runs, at least among the 6, I know. So, I mean, 4 runs over the course of, 6 or 5 2/3 is not too shabby, really. As the Bobcat offense has averaged a bit more than that coming into this game. So Johnson has been doing a pretty good job. The pitch. Low and away to start off Holloway. Austin still looking for his first safety of the day. He's 0 for 3. Last time up, a fielder's choice. He did come around to score a run. Hill on first. With this 6-0 advantage, he's staying put for the time being. Line drive right at the left fielder. That's Brandon grabbing that one. I think he took about a step or 2 at the very most to grab out number 3. So the Bobcats pick up. No runs, no hits, no errors, but leave 2 out there. And 6 in the books now. It's Georgia College 6 and Clark Atlanta 0. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. All right, folks, back to action. Got a couple of changes for GC. The pinch runner, Furphy, indeed does stay in over at first base, so he's the new first baseman. Over across the diamond at third base is the senior Therese Miller, as Miller from McDonough will be playing in his 25th ball game. And the new pitcher for Georgia College as well is the freshman Josh Hudgens. Hudgens making his 7th appearance, no record, and a 5.84 ERA. 12 and a third innings pitched, 12 hits, 9 runs scored, 8 of them earned, 8 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .267 against Hudgens. So this call to the bullpen by the Innovation Station. I want to thank our friends at the Innovation Station, your home for all things tech on the Georgia College campus. Taking a look at Connor Wilson, he finishes up with 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So a great line for the senior Connor Wilson as his day comes to a close. Ayrton Gisbertha is the first opponent for Hudgens here. Skied to right center, and the diving attempt no good there, so it's going to be a hit for Gisbertha. So Hudgens greeted rather rudely with a ringing single to right center.
Up to bat, designated hitter Jordan Johnson.
4th hit of the ball game for Clark Atlanta. Good diving attempt there by Hill, just couldn't come up with it. We're going to take another look at it. I believe he got some leather on it, as it looked like even the glove kicked loose for Hill on that diving attempt. Pitch gets away from Holloway. So the wild pitch puts Gisbertha on second with Johnson at the plate. So Johnson with an RBI chance here. Nobody out and a runner on second. Johnson 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The kick and the fire from Hudgens, and a fastball misses inside. It's 2-0. Long look in here. And the 2-0 delivery is sent to the right side, foul territory. Long run for Furphy, and he runs out of room. 2-1. Bobcats picked up a pair of runs in the first, an RBI single from Womack, followed by a sacrifice fly for Garrett Green. Added to that lead with a run in the third. That came in on a ground out from Cal Gentry. To the right side, tough play there. It gets through 2 diving attempts. Runner will get held up at third base, though. Don't want to make that first out at the plate. So that's a single through the right side. And Gisbertha checks into third base. So back-to-back single. And Clark Atlanta in business here in the top of the 7th. Butler at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a fly to center, and he walked in his last at-bat in the 5th. But to finish that scoring recap, Georgia College with a run in the 4th as well. Came in on a fielder's choice from Jason Cook as he beat out a double play ball. 2 runs came across in the 5th, one on a single by Gentry, and the other a sacrifice fly from Wesley Womack. Bobcats up 6-0. Timeout called by head coach Jason Neller as he makes the slow walk out to the mound, and Bobcat bullpen is busy. Got 3 arms going right now. Locurdo, Hicks, and Hester. Locurdo and Hester were warming up earlier in this ball game, but right now throwing from the mound are Hester and Hicks. Josh Hudgens with some struggles here in this relief outing as he took over for Connor Wilson, who had been so sharp for 6 frames, and gives up back-to-back singles to start the top of the 7th. GC trying to hang on to this shutout, but it's going to be pretty tough with runners on the corners and nobody out. Mound meet going to get broken up here by our home plate umpire. Will Hudgens survive this mound meeting? No, he won't. Time for a right-hander. This Innovation Station call to the bullpen will bring you Logan Hicks. We'll tell you about Logan's numbers when we come back after this break.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
As we get back to action, another Innovation Station call to the bullpen. And this one brings in Logan Hicks. Big Logan is making his 12th appearance, no record, a 3-even ERA. 9 innings pitched for him with 5 hits, 3 runs scored. All of them earned, 6 walks and 16 strikeouts for the senior from Statham, Georgia, and a transfer from Kennesaw State Division I program. Spent 1 year there and 3 with the Bobcats. He will be facing Calvin Butler, and he brings a fastball low, 1-0. Runners on the corners here. Back-to-back singles. Gisbertha and Johnson. That's Johnson over on first. Big lead for him. Toss to first, and he's back on his belly. If you're thinking about a stolen base for Johnson, let's take a look at that. Jordan is 3 for 3 on the year. Low and away, ball 2. Top half of the 7th inning. Georgia College cruising right along up until this frame, and things have kind of grinded to a halt as we're trying to get some outs. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and sent fair ball down the left field line. That's going to get all the way to the corner. Here comes 1 run in to score. The second will score easily as well. A stand-up double, and now it's 6-2, Georgia College out in front. A ringing double from Calvin Butler as he chops one down the third base line all the way into the corner. Butler, 2 RBI for him as the inherited runs both score. And Butler now up to 10 runs batted in on the season. Cedric Garrett, the second baseman, up now. And time called at the plate there, as Garrett will step out. Not sure if I gave you Garrett's numbers when he was up last time. 154 average, 2 hits and 13 at bats. He's got 3 runs scored. Pitch taken for a strike. So Logan Hicks greeted with a 2-run double down the left field line. 6 hits now for both squads, as things have gotten a little bit interesting. Nobody out and a runner on second. 6-2. Chop to third, just barely in foul territory as Miller completes the throw over to first. So 0-2 now. So Therese Miller playing third base and Furphy at first. A couple of Georgia Southern transfers there. Miller last year against Clark Atlanta went 1-for-1 with a couple of runs scored. So some success in that 18-5 victory for GC. Squared to bunt, pulled it back, took a ball. Squaring to bunt with 2 strikes. How about that? Logan with a long look in here. Comes set. Didn't even look at second base. The fastball just outside. Tried the bunt and swung on and missed. Again, trying to bunt with 2 strikes. So Logan picks up the strikeout. It is out number 1 in the inning. And Damani Brantley is 0 for 2. Round out to third and a strikeout in his last at bat. That came in the 5th. Working from the extreme first base side of the rubber. Hicks comes set. And the first delivery on the way to Brantley. Here it comes. Breaking pitch, it nips the outside corner. Brantley shakes his head and digs back in there. Damani Brantley calls time there at the dish as Hicks was taking a bit too long to get through the signals. Bluff of a throw to second, nobody covering the bag, so Hicks didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. Bobcats have 4 pickoffs this year. 1 each for Rowlick, Keith, Kamak, and Holloway. Although Holloway picked up a second one this year, or in this ball game, so he now leads the team. 1-1 after that pitch scooted low. Set here. And the pitch. Fired in there for a strike. It's 1-2. More breaking pitches from Logan. Set here, and now a 1-2 on the way. Low and away. It's 2-2. Shadows stretching across the plate a little bit from the light towers as the sun begins its setting process. Might affect the view of the batter a little bit there at the plate as it goes in and out of a couple of shadows. Chop to third. Miller waits for it to come down. Strong throw to first is too strong. Airmailed into the dugout. Run comes in to score. The Batter will advance to second base. It's now 6-3.
Right fielder DeAndre Swift.
So that's going to be an error on Miller. As Brantley will advance to second base. Butler comes in to score, and time called here as Kane Keith, the pitching coordinator, heads out to the mound to talk with Hicks, and he's made a call to the bullpen. So we will get a new pitcher. Tell you about the new hurler. Looks like a lefty, as we'll be back with more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. This Innovation Station call to the bullpen brings in our first lefty of the day for GC, as this will be Jacob Hester. Hester, the freshman, making his 9th appearance, no record of 4.76 ERA, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits against him, 3 runs, all of them earned, 5 walks and 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .348 against Hester. Redshirt freshman, 6'2", 190 from Marietta, and he's a transfer from Mercer, Division I, of course, over in Macon, as he redshirted that season last year for the Braves. Bears, not Braves. His first opponent will be a lefty, DeAndre Swift. Swift has had a pretty good ball game, 1 for 2, single in the 3rd, and a ground out to second in the 6th. Panthers have plated 3 runs in this inning. Have a runner on second with just 1 out. Swift squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball high. Looked like that was the breaking pitch from Hester, as that almost snapped into the zone on Swift. Swift, the right fielder. Set here from Hester. And he'll step off. Brantley at second base. He got there on an error. The pitch. Square to bunt. Pokes at it and misses. The throw down to second. Did they get him? Yes, they did. Caught the runner off there. That was a pretty close play at second. A great slap tag from Cook and a quick throw from Holloway to make it all happen. So 2-6 on the pickoff there, as that's the 3rd pickoff of the season for Holloway. And it's the 2nd out of the inning. Swing and a miss there. As getting fooled on that pitch was Swift. It's now 1-2. Square to bunt with 2 strikes, pulls it back, and takes a ball low. Deuce is wild here, Kurtz Field. Hill very shallow in center, also shallow for Saunders in left, a little deeper in right for Womack. And they've got him played around to the opposite field a bit. Squares to bunt again, pulls it back. And he takes a ball. It's a full count here, trying to bunt with 2 strikes again. Set here. 3-2 is bunted foul, so that's going to be a strikeout. So that will end the inning. 3 runs come across on 3 hits. 1 error and none left. We will head to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at John Kurtz Field. And we'll be right back with more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Okay, folks, we're back to it here. Cal Gentry at the plate to start things off in the 7th, bottom of the 7th here. Gentry 2 for 3, couple of RBI and a run scored. He singled and drove in a run in his last at bat. Pitch misses outside for a ball. Cal against Clark Atlanta, 0 for 2 last year with a run scored and 2 driven in. Pitch taken for a strike there. So he's got 1 of each now. Gentry, Womack, and Miller due up in this inning. Swung on and to Leonard. This will not get down. Getting underneath that one is Nettles. Had a little bit of spin away from that center fielder. So I thought it might get away from him, but not enough. One down for Garrett Green. And check that, it's Wesley Womack. As that pitch misses outside for a ball. Womack, let's see, he's 1 for 2. Singled home a run in the first, struck out, and then sacrifice fly in his last at bat. Another ball there. It's 2-0. So Womack is 10th in school history in total bases, and he rockets this one to right. Fair or foul, well out of here. That reached the parking lot, folks, as that was tagged by Wesley Womack. The solo home run makes it 7-3 Georgia College. My goodness, just all over that pitch for a moonshot. The Womack home run is his 5th of the season. My goodness, That was out of here in a hurry. 26 RBI on the year, and now he is 10th in school history in total RBI, 166 in his career, tying Mike DeVoe in that category as well. So congratulations to Wes. This is not Garrett Green. This is Therese Miller at the plate. That one misses up. Two, one to count. Miller cuts and misses at that one. Don't give me time to tell you. He's hitting .254 on the year with 15 hits and 10 runs scored, 11 driven in. Miller, the senior from McDonough. Swung on and lifted to the right side. That is the second baseman, Garrett, on the outfield grass to grab that one for out number 2. So 2 down now for Jay Saunders. Saunders came in as a defensive replacement in left, has 1 at bat today, flew out to right field. Rock and the pitch here as Johnson continues to work. That one misses outside for a ball. That was pitch number 118 for him, as he's got 67 strikes as well. The 1-0. And that drops in the upper half of the strike zone to Saunders. It's 1-1. Kick and the fire. Saunders helps him out on a pitch in the dirt. Awkward swing there from Jay as that one kind of dropped off the table on him. And now Johnson brings the 1-2, tried to drop that breaking pitch into the zone, but instead it stays high. Deuce is wild here at John Kurtzfield. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed, and Saunders goes down on strikes. Fooled him on a breaking pitch low and away, and that ends the 7th, but not before the run comes across. The 5th home run of the season for Wesley Womack as he rocketed one over the right field fence. Bobcats lead it 7-3 after 7. We'll be right back with more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, folks, a new inning brings a new pitcher as this Innovation Station call to the bullpen brings in another senior right-hander, this one Colin Lacurdo. Lacurdo on the season, making his team-leading 21st appearance. He's got a 2-0 record with a 1.50 ERA. 18 innings pitched. He's got 9 hits against him, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 walks, and 15 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 145 is all against the senior. He's from Kennesaw and Kennesaw Mountain. Now, Lacurdo has seen some action against this Clark Atlanta squad. It was a while ago, though. It was the first pitch swing and miss there for Brandon. That came his sophomore season, went 1 inning and struck out a batter, didn't give up any runs or hits. He's 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference in appearances, 7th in opponent batting average is Collins. So doing a great job out of the bullpen for GC. And a pitch misses for a ball. It is 1-1 here for Ciante Brandon. Brandon 0 for 2. He struck out in the 3rd and popped out to the catcher. That was just in the 6th. Colin, that sidewind delivery, and it's a 2-hopper to Cook. Flip of a throw to first, just got him. Good quick exchange there from Cook as he had to work that glove to throwing hand all in one motion for out number 1. Back to the top of the order, and Jason Howell. Howell is 2 for 3. Couple of singles, including one in his last at bat. And here comes Kane Keith. Again, I really think we should get him a sickle and a black cloak, because every time he goes out there, he's making a pitching change. And we will have one here as well. I think that's Luke Scudellari making his way to the mound. We'll tell you all about Luke's numbers when we come back.
When I was applying to different graduate programs, Georgia College was actually the first to contact me, and I was able to speak to the program coordinator directly, and we were able to sort of build a rapport then. And through that, I felt very comfortable about coming here, even though I'd never been to the South, coming from Michigan. I still felt like there was a welcoming atmosphere.
When you start thinking about learning, it's really not a destination as much as it is a journey. And when we started out as undergrads, we really didn't know what we wanted to do when we grew up. An undergraduate really kind of gives you that foundation you can build on. And what we try to do is have our students become lifelong learners and to go ahead and prepare themselves for a very dynamic world that they're going to live in.
This Innovation Station call to the bullpen brings in the lefty Luke Scudellari. Luke making his 8th appearance. He's got a 1-0 record and no ERA. 4 innings pitched. He's given up 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .250 against Scudellari. Luke is a freshman, 2 freshmen from Roswell, Georgia, 6'1" and 190, a graduate of Milton High. And that curveball buckles the knees of Howell there at the plate for a called strike. Luke's got a good hook and appears to be 2 different speeds of fastball. Went with that hook in the dirt there, and it's 1-1. Or check that, I'm sorry, swing and miss, so that's 0-2. So Lacurdo comes in, gets the righty out, and Luke Scudellari retires his opponent here, Howell, on 3 pitches for a strikeout for out number 2. So the strikeout looking. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. And Nettles now up. And time called once again. Looks like we're going to get another change here. As we keep throwing arms out there, give everybody some midweek action. We'll be back with another change here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Back to it here at John Kurtz Field. Got another reliever coming in. This is pitcher number 7 of the ball game for Georgia College. As Perry Keith takes to the hill for his 17th appearance, a 2-1 record for him, 5.87 the ERA, 15 in the third innings pitched. 14 hits, 10 runs given up, all earned, 3 walks and 14 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .255 against Keith. He's a senior. 5'11", 175 from LaGrange, and a transfer from Gordon College. Not sure if Perry has any action against Clark Atlanta. Yes, he does. 1 inning pitched last year with a strikeout. And Perry is 8th in the conference in appearances. He will face Anthony Nettles, a first pitch for a strike there. So Nettles 0 for 2 officially. Fly out to second, a walk, and then a ground out to second. Curveball there, misses low, and it's 1-1. Two down, bases empty here in the top of the 8th. The kick and the fire, off-speed pitch is skied to left field. Jay Saunders has no trouble with that one for out number 3. So 1, 2, 3 they go, and 1, 2, 3 pitchers we sent out there in the inning. As the 8th has come complete now, the top half anyway. We'll head to the bottom half. Let's see, due up going to be Chester, Cook, and Furphy. Be right back with that and a little bit more here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Okay, folks, we get back to action. Got our first relief pitcher for Clark Atlanta, as they're going to make a defensive swap and put the shortstop Calvin Butler into pitch, and Jordan Johnson will go play short. Taking a look at Calvin Butler as a pitcher, he is making his second appearance, a 0-1 record, and a big ERA of 108.00 as he went 1/3 of an inning. Gave up 1 hit and 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. Opponents hitting 500 against Butler. So he's going to try and bring those numbers down here, and he will start with Matthew Chester here in the bottom of the 8th. And the first pitch misses for a ball low. So Johnson moves over to shortstop. Butler now on the mound. Working from the full windup, misses outside, going to be 2-0. Matthew Chester at the plate, he's 0 for 2. Strikeout, hit by a pitch, and then a ground out to short. Chester, the Bobcat, DH today. The 2-0 pitch is low and outside for ball 3, so the new reliever, Butler, has not come across with a strike yet. I imagine Matthew will plant this bat right on his shoulder for this one. And that's well up and away for ball 4. So the 4-pitch walk puts Chester on first base as a leadoff base runner. First time we've done that since the 5th.
Shortstop Jason Cook.
We had a good little stretch there. We have put the leadoff base runner on 4 times, and he has scored all 4. So this is the 5th. Jason Cook at the plate. Cook is 0 for 3. A line out to center, reached on a fielder's choice, and drove in a run with that fielder's choice. He also flew out to first. Clark Atlanta going to get a couple of guys going in their bullpen, and Gisbertha is out on the mound to delay things a little bit and try and give them some warm-up time. There they break up the conversation, and we'll head back to the plate. Cook bats now with Chester on first and nobody out. Got to imagine Cook will be taking until he sees a strike here. Bobcats up just 4 at 7-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch. Low and inside, kicks away from Gisbertha, but not far enough for the runner to advance. So 5 pitches, now 5 balls for Butler. Fastball low there. 2-0. Set here for Butler. And the pitch. That one bounces out in front of the plate, knocked down by Gisbertha. So again, I imagine Cook going to be taken all the way here on a 4-0 pitch, or a 3-0 pitch. There it is, ball 4. So 8 pitches all out of the zone so far for Butler. And runners on first and second now for GC.
Up to that first baseman, Eric Furphy.
Eric Furphy at the plate. This is his first at bat. Came in as a pinch runner in the 6th, then stayed in to play first base. Get you the numbers on Furphy, since it's his first at bat. Where you at, Eric? There you are, 244 with 10 hits and 8 runs scored. Still looking for his first extra base hit of the year, and he has driven in 3. Slow walk for Casey Carter, the head coach of the Panthers, as he's trying to buy a little bit of time for his bullpen to finish up their warm-up tosses. 8 pitches out of the zone for Butler. So I don't imagine his outing is going to be too much longer here. But for the time being, Butler will stay out there for at least one more hitter here in Furphy. Carter rounds his return trip back to the first base dugout a little bit closer to the bullpen to see how those guys are doing down there. So, again, not sure how much longer of a leash Butler will have here. Set here from Butler as that one bounces up in front, gets all the way back to the fence for a wild pitch, as that is 9 pitches now out of the zone. The pitch, fastball up 2-0. The 2-0 is swung on and tipped there at the plate. Foul ball, 2-1. And that'll go down as the first strike offered by Butler. So he went 10 balls to start the inning. There's an 11th out of the zone, and not advancing on the play, though, is Chester, as he didn't get a good jump. 3-1. First base open. If Furphy should walk here, then the lineup will flip back over to Hill and probably a relief pitcher. Pitch from Butler, and it grabs the outside black. It's 3-2. So full count here for Eric Furphy. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Georgia College with runners on second and third. The payoff pitch swung on and right up the silo. Going to be a shortstop. That's the new shortstop, Johnson, getting underneath that one to glove it for out number 1. Furphy dropping that back shoulder, got it well underneath that pitch. First out brings up Cam Hill as we go back to the top of the order. Hill 2 for 2. Got a couple of walks as well. He's been real busy on the base paths. Reached all 4 times. And scored 3 runs, stole a base. First pitch swinging, and it's yanked foul down the first baseline. Cam Hill with a couple of ducks on the pond here, trying to add to this 4-run advantage. A little bit more insurance as we look forward to the top of the 9th. Swung on and sent to first. Down to his knees is Howell to stop that one. He'll step on the bag, but the run comes in to score on the ground out. Georgia College now up 8-3. RBI ground out for Hill. As Cam's been driving in runs, too. It's up to 23 now on the season. Two outs. And a runner on third for Austin Holloway. Outside for a ball. As Gisbertha has to lay out to save that potential wild pitch. The kick and the fire here, fastball up and in, and that limboing out of the way of that one was Holloway. Bobcats got a couple of arms warm in the bullpen, so we'll probably break up the ninth as well. We'll see. Breaking pitch, snaps down into the zone, 2-1. Looks like Ashton Sturgill is the warmest of the bunch out there. Fastball up over the head this time of Holloway. Ducks underneath that one. Sturgill, I believe, and Forrest Wilson are the two righties going in the Georgia College bullpen right now. The pitch outside, and that should be ball 4. Yes, it is. So Holloway will trot down to first base. Runners on the corners and 2 down for Cal Gentry. Gentry's had a great ball game so far. He is 2 for 4. Couple of singles, driven in a pair, and scored 1. So a real full line for Cal in this ball game. Holloway at first, good speed there. Might be a stolen base potential. He stays put on the first pitch. Skied to left, back on this one is Brandon. He won't get to it. It's over his head. Run comes in to score. We will send Holloway as well. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Cal Gentry. Gentry lifted that ball to left field. And Brandon just ran out of room as that one skied up over his head. 2 runs coming in to score. Cal has 4 RBI now on the day. Great ball game for Gentry, and the Bobcats are up 10-3. Mound visit here, so that's going to mean a pitch and change. We'll take a look and see who goes where here in a moment. We'll take a break and tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate into a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Back to action here at John Kurtz Field. New pitcher for Clark Atlanta is the right-hander Lavelle Otis. Otis making his 4th appearance. He's got an 0-2 record, a 17.74 ERA, 11 2/3 innings pitched, 27 hits, 28 runs, 23 of them earned, 13 walks and 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .466 against Otis. Now, Otis enters the ball game here. He's a freshman, 5'10", 185 from New Orleans, and Warren Easton Charter High. So he inherits a runner on second base. That is Gentry, as he just drove in a pair. He's up to 25 RBI now on the season. And the ball game is at 10-3, Georgia College out in front. Womack at the plate, first pitch swinging. He'll send this one to left center. And catching it on the run is Brandon for out number 3. Sinking liner didn't quite sink enough for Womack, and that brings the inning to a close. Bobcats pick up 3 more runs on just 1 hit, though, taking advantage of the walk They leave one out there. We will go to the ninth. Bobcats 3 outs away from another victory. It's going to be Gisbertha, Johnson, and the new hitter there, the pitcher. I don't know if he can bat as well, but Otis should be up in the third slot. We'll have a new pitcher for you as well. We'll take a brief break and tell you about all that when we come back.
Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
All right, folks, back to it here. Got Ashton Sturgill to the mound. Sturgill has had a good year, making his 10th appearance, a 1-0 record, a 3-even ERA, 6 innings pitched with 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting, let's see here, what do we got? 240 against Sturgill. First opponent for Sturgill will be Ayrton Gisbertha. Gisbertha today is 1 for 2 officially. He singled in his last at bat. Scored a run. He's also got a sacrifice bunt. And a pop out to first. But that single came in the 7th. Started off the inning. Swung on and missed there. And a 1-1 count for Gisbertha. Set here for Sturgill. The delivery is away, 2-1. Yanked foul there, and it's 2-2. So Sturgill gets the start of the 9th inning here. Not sure if we'll continue to break up the rest of the ball game. We got 2 arms warming up in the Georgia College pen. Looks like Tristan Thompson and Forrest Wilson out there right now. So we'll probably continue to break up the rest of the ball game. Sturgill. Time called at the plate. And now a 2-2 on the way. Here it comes. Swung on, chopped foul to the third base side. First action of the week. We were supposed to have baseball yesterday. Albany State was due But with the rain coming in, we had to postpone that. Still haven't had a rescheduled date on that one yet. We'll keep you posted on that info. 2-2 pitch. Chop foul again. And still 2-2. This weekend's action is on the road for baseball, but we will have some broadcasts of softball. Young Harris on Friday. And Sunday action against North Georgia. Friday action is going to be Senior Day. And Sunday is actually going to be Alumni Day, as we offer excitement to have the alums back for some softball action. So get over to the Peeler Complex to check that out. Those will be the final home contests for GC softball this season. Now the number 20 team in the country. Couple of foul balls here. Good battle between these two. And that one comes inside. I had him at 2-2. I guess we missed a pitch there someplace. So heading down to first base is Gisbertha with the walk.
Up to that, Jordan Johnson.
And now the shortstop, Jordan Johnson, due up. And he may be facing someone new. Head coach Jason Eller headed out there. And he will talk to the freshman righty. Long conversation here between Coach Eller and the righty Sturgill. I'm sure the plan was to have each pitcher get an out. So I don't know if we want to make a change here or not. Home plate umpires out there now to break things up. And it looks like Sturgill staying out there. So for the time being, the freshman will get another batter. And that batter will be Jordan Johnson, the shortstop. Johnson is, he is 1 for 3. He grounded out to short, then struck out, and singled in the 7th, his most recent at bat. Scored a run there. One of the 3 that Clark Atlanta brought across in that inning. Runner on first, nobody out. Sturgill with the set here. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Got Johnson out in front of that off-speed pitch. Sturgill from Evans, and Evans high. That one misses up and away. Ashton comes in at 6'2" and 170. Good size lead for Gisbertha over at first. Cut on a miss there, and it's 1-2 for Ashton. So Sturgill ahead of the hitter. Bobcats 3 outs away from a victory here. Made things a little bit more comfortable with some insurance over the last couple innings. It started to get a little tight. I believe the closest it got was 4 runs apart here late. Swung on a miss there, and Sturgill picks up the strikeout.
Up to bat, shortstop Calvin Butler.
And this will be Butler at the plate, and it looks like he'll have a new opponent. We'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back with that action in just a moment. All right, had to fix my statistics there online as Calvin Butler actually stayed in the ball game. He is the DH now. Went into pitch last inning, had some struggles, and they took him out. So I thought we were going to see Otis here, Lavelle Otis, the relief pitcher, but instead it's Butler because they slid him to a DH slot. New pitcher for Georgia College is going to be Forrest Wilson. Making his seventh appearance, no record, 5.68 the ERA. As Forrest, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits against him, 6 runs, 4 earned. No walks and 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .321 against him. So Forrest will get the appearance here. I assume probably to pick up an out before turning things over to probably, oh, nope, got 2 arms going out there, so we got a couple of choices. So Butler swings, sends this one to third. Miller to second. Nope, the throw was offline, gets into right field. And that's going to be another error on the third. So first and second now with 1 out. For a pinch hitter in Antonio Watts. So Watts will get his first appearance at the plate. He pinch hits for the second baseman. Watts at an .083 clip, 1 hit and 12 at bats. He's got a run scored and an RBI. Wilson still on the mound because he didn't get an out yet, as he almost did on that throwing error. So Butler will reach on a fielder's choice. And the error puts the runner on second. So it's first and second with 1 down. Swung on and missed, 1 of each now for Watts. Antonio Watts, a junior from Albany and Westover High. Forrest comes set. And Wilson with the delivery. Snap throw down to second, and it's 1 hops Gentry. He'll stop it there without a tag. So 2-1 here for Watts. Look in, now set, and a 2-1 delivery on the way. Here it comes. Grabs the outside black for a strike. Watts looking all the way. 2-2 the count. Bobcats have 2 arms warming up. The lefty is Bryce Bowen. The righty is Harrison Veldsma. Set here. And Wilson delivers outside. Count runs full here for the pinch hitter. The payoff pitch to Watts. Runner goes, swing and miss. The throw down to third. Did they get him? Yes, they did. And that's the ball game. Struck him out, throw him out, double play. And the ball game has come to a close.
The Bobcats are back in action at home Friday, April 19th at 6 p.m., playing host to Augusta University. We hope to see you then. On behalf of the Georgia College Athletics.
So the Bobcats win this one 10-3. Going to be 10 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. For Clark Atlanta, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Georgia College improves to 21-14. And Clark Atlanta will fall to 9-20. For head coach Jason Eller, it's his 100th career victory here at Georgia College. Congratulations to Coach Eller on picking up the century mark of victories here at GC. So let's see. Winning pitcher is going to be Connor Wilson, and he will pick up his first decision of the year. Wilson was very sharp, so he'll go to 1-0. And for Clark Atlanta, the loss to Jordan Johnson in a pretty solidly pitched ball game, he'll fall to 1-2. Zaxby's player of the game, we are going to give that one to Connor Wilson. That was a great start for him. I think he did a good job. And let me get those the numbers on Connor. As Wilson goes 6 innings, gives up 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and strikes out 3. He faced the minimum over about 4 or 5 innings straight. So Connor Wilson is your Zaxby's player of the game, thanks to our friends at Zaxby's on North Columbia Street here in Milledgeville. All right, so folks, next action here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network is going to be softball. That'll be Friday as the Bobcat, number 20 in the country, Bobcat softball squad will welcome Young Harris College, the Mountain Lions, for some conference play over at the Peeler Complex. That's going to be a 4 p.m. start on Friday for Senior Day. We'll do the Senior Day stuff in between contests. I'll try and leave the microphones and things live for that so you can check that out. The next Georgia College baseball broadcast, going to be a little bit, as looks like Augusta on the 19th, 6 p.m. start, as we will take on the Jaguars and head coach Eller's former squad there. Congratulations, Coach Eller, on victory number 100. And that's the end of the ball game here, a 10-3 victory for Georgia College. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and have a great night.